Joining me now on this India Today special broadcast is Reuven Azar, Israel's ambassador to India. Ambassador, welcome on India Today. The United States has carried out a series of missile strikes and bomb attacks, the GBU-57 on the B-2 bombers. Do you have an initial assessment of the damage in Iran, sir?
Well, it's still soon to tell. I think we have to wait for the BDA. The kind of ammunition that was used by the United States is quite heavy and substantial. So the expectation is that significant damage has been caused to these installations, and that is in addition to all the action that Israel took. We are very grateful for the President of the United States. I think he did the right and bold move to defend not only our country, but to defend the region and to defend the world from the threat of nuclear terrorism.
Sir, you say it's defending the world from nuclear terrorism. Iran looks at it as massive escalation and aggression. They're saying it's a violation of all international treaties and norms, a violation of the UN. Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called it a blatant violation and said there should be de-escalation immediately.
Well, those who are calling this a violation should have concentrated in condemning Iran's violation, because Iran has been cheating the world for the last 30 years. They have been conducting clandestine military nuclear activity. They have been trying to sneak out to a nuclear weapon while negotiating with the United States. So they are the aggressors. We know that Iran has been the aggressor in our region. They have been attacking not only the state of Israel, but many countries in the region, taking over Arab capitals, developing weapons of mass destruction, proliferating weapons of mass destruction. So I think that the only ones that can be responsible for what is happening is the reckless behavior of a terrorist regime that has sworn to destroy the state of Israel, destroying havoc into the region. The IAEA has determined only 2 weeks ago that Iran is in non-compliance. So you cannot accept a situation in which a country that is a signatory to the safeguard agreements is violating them and then seeks immunity from attack. It is completely ridiculous. I think that what Israel did and what the United States did actually is showing responsibility, is showing that when you defy the rules determined by the international community, you're going to pay the price.
In your appreciation, the targeting of Fordo, for which American assistance was required, considering that the only ones with the B-2 bombers and the GBU-57s, 30 Tomahawk missiles fired at Isfahan and at Natanz. How much damage has been inflicted on Iran's nuclear capabilities, and is this a setback for their nuclear weapons program? By how many years in your assessment?
Absolutely. The Iranian plan was set back for years. I remind you that Israel not only attacked the nuclear facilities, we also took out the team that was working on weaponization. So although Iran has mastered the capability to enrich uranium, and I don't think that this attack is going to take out the knowledge that the Iranians have, it has caused damage mainly to two elements of the nuclear program that are critical and that set them back for years. The first, as I said, the criminal scientists that were working on a nuclear device, a nuclear weapon, and the installations themselves. Not only America has attacked them, we have attacked them also. So Natanz is now neutralized, Isfahan is neutralized, and hopefully Fordo will be neutralized as well.
And in your assessment, is this the end of their nuclear weapons program, a setback by several years? Point one. Point two, is that your aim achieved? Will a regime change, is that still your aim, or your aim has been achieved so far, sir?
I must remind you that we never said that our aim is regime change in Iran. The Israeli cabinet has taken very specific decisions, and they include removing two existential threats that were coming from Iran. One is the nuclear military threat, and the second is the missile ballistic threat. We've taken very substantive action against dozens of sites in Iran that were involved with those threats, the capabilities, the factories to produce ballistic missiles, for example, in more than 70 locations in which the Iranians had different elements of the nuclear program.
Now, in your view, will there be an escalation? Because Iran has immediately struck back. I believe there's been an attack on Haifa. There are several other locations that are being targeted in Israel. What do you make of Iran's capabilities to continue to strike back? Will it remain restricted to Israel, or will they widen it to US interests in the region, sir?
Well, first of all, indeed, Israelis are in shelters. However, the capability of Iran to continue hitting Israel has been degraded substantially from a scope of more than 200 ballistic missiles a day at the beginning of this campaign to around 20 now. That means that the Iranians are having a challenge in continue attacking Israel, and not to mention the challenge that they will have if they want to attack the region, because their capabilities have been decimated by Israel. And therefore, I'm optimistic that if Iran continues this, first of all, I hope that they will not continue and that they have gotten the message. But if they decide to continue, I think I'm optimistic regarding the capability of both the United States, Israel, and other countries in the region to actually retaliate in an efficient way and prevent from Iran to causing the damage it is threatening to cause.
Ambassador Azar, in your appreciation, was the US strike a one-off? Has that aim been achieved, especially at Fordo, or in your view, would more precision strikes be required? And there were some reports that seemed to indicate, and on India Today we had that report, that Iran was able to use trucks to move some of the material from Fordo to other places. Are there other sites where it could still be trying to, one, enrich uranium, two, speed up the process of making the 9 atom bombs, as your Prime Minister put it, sir?
Well, first of all, I think we have to listen very carefully to the voice of President Trump. And I don't have to add anything to that. I think he was very clear that if Iran takes action against American interests, the United States will retaliate very forcefully. Regarding the capabilities of the Iranians to continue sneaking out to a nuclear weapon, I think that we have proved the capability to prevent that. At this point, we have complete control over Iranian skies. We are hunting down illicit activities, including launchers of missiles, which we have degraded for more than 50%, including nuclear activities. So we will keep alert. If we see that Iran continues with its plan to create a nuclear weapon, we will not hesitate to take action again.
And in your view, if this battle of attrition continues for long, is it advantage Iran and disadvantage Israel, considering your civilian areas are being targeted, whether in Haifa or in Tel Aviv or like in the past in Beersheba?
Well, the Israeli cabinet will have to make decisions. If we see that Iran continues to attack us, they will have to decide what measures to take in order to neutralize the threat.
Do you see today's operations as a success, and do you think this will compel Iran to come to the talks table with the United States of America, usher in peace, or lead to further escalation?
Militarily, this is a huge success. I think that what the Israeli security forces, the IDF, the Mossad, and other agencies have done is absolutely remarkable. This will be written in the pages of history. And their move to remove these existential threats from Israel actually is going to secure the future of Israel for generations to come. And it has been very effective. Whether this is going to bring back or to bring the Iranians seriously to the negotiating table remains to be seen. We hope it does. And we hope peace will prevail, because if we don't actually take action against aggressors, it's very difficult to promote peace.
Ambassador Azar, do you see countries like China and Russia come in some form to Iran's assistance, or is Iran, in your view, completely isolated?
I think that Iran is pretty much isolated. I cannot discard that we receive some kind of assistance from other countries, but I don't see this in a form of a military expansion of the military confederation.
And on reports that Iran and Israel is running short of ammunition, Israel is running short of arrow missiles or its air defense systems, how would you respond to that, sir?
Well, that is something that the government is managing. I don't have the numbers, so I cannot comment on that.
And you think Israel is safer now after this US bombing?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that Israel, as I told you, has removed two existential threats: the nuclear threat, the ballistic missile threat, and that is very important for our future. I thank the American president for the bold move that he made to finish that job in terms of hitting the installations. And not only Israel, but I think the entire region now can feel comfort, can plan a much more stable future, a future of cooperation, a future of prosperity, a future that is free from threats of annihilation and Iranian hegemony.
Ambassador Reuven Azar for joining me here on this India Today special broadcast on a day that American forces have targeted 3 nuclear sites in Iran. Many thanks, sir.